Imagine standing there, heart pounding, as your HOA overlord, with her perfectly coiffed hair and a clipboard clutched like a scepter, calls the cops on your spouse for the audacious crime of installing a new front door lock. The sheer absurdity hits you like a slap, her voice dripping with self-righteous venom as she demands your arrest for endangering community harmony, all while the officers shift uncomfortably, wondering if they've stumbled into a bad sitcom. But oh, the sweet irony. Little did this power-drunk busybody know. The troublemaker she was targeting was a federal investigator who'd been quietly piecing together her elaborate embezzlement scam, turning her petty tyranny into her own undoing. Hey folks, it's your neighborhood drama whisperer here, diving into another tale from the twisted world of HOAs where community standards is code for do as I say or else. My name's Alex Rivera, 48, former journalist turned suburban survivor. After 2 decades chasing scandals in the big city, I figured retiring to Willow Creek Estates in sunny Arizona would be all golf carts and block parties. Boy, was I wrong. This gated slice of paradise, think manicured lawns, identical beige houses, and a clubhouse that costs more in dues than my first apartment, turned out to be a pressure cooker of passive-aggressive notes and power plays. We inherited my aunt's modest ranch-style home 3 years back, a throwback from the 70s that stuck out like a sore thumb amid the McMansions. No big deal, right? We poured $150,000 into sprucing it up, new roof, solar panels, and yeah, that fateful smart lock system for security. My wife, Lena, handles the vague consulting gig that keeps her on the road, digging into corporate finances or something. She's always played it close to the vest, citing client confidentiality. Turns out, that secrecy was our secret weapon against the reigning queen of petty rules, Barbara "Barb" Kensington, HOA president extraordinaire. Barb was the type who'd cite you for a weed in your flower bed, while her own yard looked like a botanical experiment gone wrong. Real estate broker by day, self-proclaimed guardian of property values by night, married to a local zoning board hack named Ted. She strutted around like she owned the deed to the American dream, her smile all teeth and no warmth. The morning it all kicked off, I was sipping coffee on the porch, watching the sprinklers tick like metronomes, when Barb's gleaming black SUV rolled up like a hearse at a birthday party. She hopped out in heels that clicked authority, envelope in hand, her perfume hitting me before her words did. Mr. Rivera, she intoned, like addressing a delinquent child. We've got a problem with your unauthorized security upgrade. I set down my mug, feeling the warm desert breeze turn clammy. What upgrade? Barb? The lock? It's just a basic smart system. Helps when Lena's traveling. She thrust the envelope at me, her nails like red daggers. It violates Section 3.2 of our architectural guidelines. No unapproved tech that could disrupt aesthetic uniformity. Fines $400, and you'll revert it immediately. Lena wandered out then, still in yoga pants, watering the succulents with that quiet poise of hers. We've checked the bylaws, Barb. Nothing about locks in the original charter. Barb's laugh was a sharp bark, like she'd rehearsed it. Oh, honey, guidelines evolve for the greater good. This gadget screams paranoia and tanks our curb appeal. Think of the neighbors. The way she said neighbors made it sound like we were plotting a coup. I tasted that bitter edge of frustration, but Lena just nodded calmly, her fingers drumming lightly on the hose nozzle, a tick I'd always chalked up to stress. We'll look into it, I said evenly. Barb's eyes narrowed. You do that. Harmony demands sacrifice. Alex. Some folks just don't get that. As she drove off, exhaust puffing like a smug sigh, Lena murmured, sacrifice. Huh? Let's see what she's really protecting. A week later, the whispers started. At the community pool, folks averted eyes, murmuring about those Riveras causing trouble again. Barb had spun the tale. We were disrespectful newcomers ignoring rules, probably hiding something shady behind that lock. I overheard Marge from down the street clucking to her bridge group. I heard they're running some illegal operation. Why else the fancy security? The stung. The smear campaign turning us into pariahs. I wanted to shout back, but Lena held firm. Let them talk. Rumors are just noise until we have facts. She spent evenings on her laptop, researching HOA precedents, she said. I figured she was just thorough, but her eyes had that laser focus, piecing puzzles I couldn't see. Then came the emergency inspection. Barb showed up unannounced with her entourage. 2 jittery board members and a contractor named Hal, who looked like he'd built his career on overbilling. Anonymous tip about structural issues, Barb declared, clipboard poised like a weapon. We need access now for safety. I wiped sawdust from my hands. I turned the garage into a hobby woodworking shop and stepped out. Safety? From what? A loose shingle? Hal grunted, circling the house. Old places like this could be wiring faults, foundation cracks. Gonna cost ya. Lena appeared, coffee in hand, casual as ever. Got a license for inspections. Hal? He blinked. General contractor. Not what I asked, she pressed, voice smooth but edged. Barb interjected. Hal's our go-to guy. And that lock? Unauthorized. Hand over the codes for compliance. I nearly choked. Our private home? Barb's smile was all piety. Community trumps privacy, dear. Emergencies call for unity. Lena's drumming intensified. Which emergency meeting approved that? Date and minutes. Please. Barb faltered. COVID session. Limited attendance. Funny, Lena said, pulling her phone. State law requires full notice. Hal muttered about rescheduling, and they slunk away, Barb hissing. This isn't over. Respect authority, or face consequences. As their cars vanished, Lena's grin was wolfish. She's overplaying her hand. Perfect. The harassment ramped up like a bad sequel. Daily wellness checks from board lackeys. One fretting over suspicious deliveries, our Amazon packages. Another about excessive energy use, our solar panels. Ironically, Barb manipulated the neighborhood app, posting veiled warnings about non-compliant residents eroding our values. Rumors escalated we were troublemakers, possibly dealing contraband, all because of a damn lock. It was laughable if not so infuriating. I'd chuckle bitterly over dinner, but Lena stayed zen, documenting every encounter. Patience. Alex. Bullies like her thrive on reaction. Then the inspector hit. City guy named Frank. Golf buddy of Ted's. No doubt. Reports of illegal business ops, he barked. Eyeing my workshop. I showed him around, everything permitted, up to code. He grumbled, found zilch, but suggested upgrades that smelled like kickbacks. Lena watched, drumming away. Play golf with anyone special. Frank, his flush said it all. Post-inspection, Lena dove deeper online. Look at this, she said, screen glowing. HOA dues had ballooned. $320,000 in emergency funds over 3 years. No visible fixes. That pool renovation never happened. Invoices to Kensington Builders, Ted's cousin's firm. The dots connected. Fake projects. Siphon cash. She's robbing us blind, I whispered. Lena nodded. And I've seen worse in my line of work. Time to build the case. That's when it clicked. Her consulting was FBI forensic accounting. She'd been on to Barb from day one, quietly amassing evidence while playing the meek housewife. The legal bombshell landed via certified mail, reeking of desperation. Barb's lawyer, Ted's firm, naturally demanded compliance or lien on our house. For the community's sake, it read, like a mob shakedown in legalese. Lena was packing for a trip, her bag heavy with what I now knew were investigation tools. This is her push, she said. She's scared. We ignored it. But Barb doubled down, rallying allies with tales of our defiance-threatening harmony. Neighborhood meetings buzzed with her sermons. We must protect our standards from disruptors. It was comical, her pious rants masking greed. But the pressure mounted. Friends ghosted us. Kids avoided our block. I seethed. But Lena's calm was steel. Let her dig her grave. Her digging unearthed gold. $410,000 funneled to family shells. Insurance scams for phantom damages. Federal territory now, she murmured. Barb's final stunt? Calling 911 on us for trespassing on our own property, claiming the lock hid crimes. Sirens wailed as cops arrived, Barb trailing like a triumphant peacock. Arrest them. They're endangering us all. Officers looked dubious. Ma'am. Explain. I stayed cool. Just a home improvement. Lena stepped up. Officers. Jurisdiction note. She flashed her FBI badge. Voice velvet over iron. Special Agent Lena Rivera. White-collar crimes. Investigating HOA fraud here. Barb blanched. Sputtering. This is abuse. Cops froze. Filing false reports? Felony, Lena added sweetly. Especially obstructing feds. Barb's empire cracked. Her demands for keys now evidence of tampering. The climax hit at the emergency HOA meeting Barb called, framing us as villains. Room packed. Air thick with her drama. These interlopers weaponize government against volunteers, she outed Lena. A Fed spying on innocents. Gasps rippled. Lena rose, badge gleaming. Let's clarify. I've documented $410,000 embezzled via fake assessments. Evidence poured out. Invoices. Bank trails. Photos of untouched repairs. Neighbors murmured, then roared as truth sank in. You stole our dues, one yelled. Feds stormed in Lena's team, cuffing Barb mid-rant. Wire fraud. Conspiracy. Her brother-in-law bolted but got nabbed in the lot. As she was let out, Lena dropped, restitution incoming. Your fees drop soon. Cheers erupted. Barb's facade shattered in glorious slow-mo. 3 months post-bust. Willow Creek breathed easy. New president? Transparent Tom. Shredding Barb's nonsense rules. She got 5 years federal time. $410,000 restitution. Our refunds averaged $2,500. Funding real fixes like a community playground. Lena's promo led a HOA fraud task force. My woodworking side gig boomed on integrity buzz. Neighborhood potlucks replaced fear. Gardens bloomed where tension once festered. Ripples spread, nearby HOAs audited, uncovering more scams. Our home felt like sanctuary, evenings filled with laughter, not whispers. Justice, sweet as payback, proving patience topples tyrants. But tell me, In a world where community masks control, is the real villain the rule breaker or the rule maker gone rogue? Drop your take below, right or wrong.